Okay, so this video is to continue filling in your unit circle. We're going to start by filling in sine, cosine, and tangent functions on your worksheet that goes with your unit circle. So basically, all you need to remember for the sine and cosine functions are that cosine is always your x coordinate and sine is always your y coordinate. Then tangent, you just take your y coordinate and divide it by your x coordinate. So we're going to work mostly with what we have here. The x coordinate is sine or cosine. The y coordinate is sine, and tangent is just y divided by x. So we're going to take the y coordinate of our 60-degree angle, sine of 60, is equal to the y coordinate, which would be square root of 3 over 2. That's all you need to remember for sine and cosine. Cosine of 60 degrees would be your x coordinate, which would be 1/2. And then your tangent is going to be x over or y over x. So tangent of 60, and all you need to do with the tangent, because if you notice, when you divide these, those 2's will drop out. So you're just dividing the numerators. So I'm going to take the numerator of the y coordinate, which is 3, the numerator of the x coordinate, and divide them. And remember, when you have 1 in the bottom of a fraction, you don't need to write it. So actually the tangent of 60 would be 3. So to practice that, let's say I have a 30-degree angle. So you go back to your unit circle, look at your 30-degree angle, and your coordinates are square root of 3 over 2 and 1/2. So let's write that down. Square root of 3 over 2 and 1/2. So to get the sine of 30, you would take the y coordinate, so that would be 1/2. And what would this, think about it before you listen to my answer. Stop, see if you can figure it out. Cosine of 30 is going to be which coordinate? It's going to be square root of 3 over 2. It's going to be your x coordinate. And then tangent, just divide the numerators. So your y divided by your x, 1 divided by square root of 3. Now, remember, we can't leave that square root of 3 in the denominator. You have to rationalize. So you multiply by square root of 3 over square root of 3. Some of you may not need to show all these steps anymore because we've done so many of these. But tangent would be square root of 3 over 2. Okay, so that's how you find sine, cosine, and tangent. The other part of today's lesson involved finding the reciprocal trig ratios. So the reciprocal of any fraction is just taking the numerator and denominator and switching places. So you just take 3 over 2. The definition is if the cross product would equal the same thing, and they do. So yeah. So the reciprocal is just switching the numerator and denominator. The sign, if it starts out of negative, the reciprocal is also negative. Okay? The sign of the fraction goes with the entire fraction, not just one part of that fraction. Okay, so now the cosecant, in other words, in addition to also the reciprocal can be written as 1 over y, because cosecant is the reciprocal of sine. So if the sine is is square root of 3 over 2, okay, the sine of your angle is square root of 3 over 2, so that would be your 30-degree angle. No, that would be your 60-degree angle, square root of 3 over 2. So let's say the cosecant equals 2 over square root of 3. But you can't leave it like that. You have to rationalize your denominator. So it'll be times square root of 3 over square root of 3. So times square root of 3 over 3 over square root of 3, that would be 2 square root of 3 over 3. And then if you can reduce, you do, but in this case you cannot. So that cosecant would be 2 square root of 3 over 3. For that same angle, secant would be the reciprocal of sine. So you're just going to do the reciprocal of 1/2, which would be 2 over 1. So secant is 2 over 1. Cotangent is very similar to tangent. You just do x divided by y. So if I have the point, what did I just do? I did 1/2 square root of 3 over 2. So that's a 60-degree angle. So the cotangent of 60 would be the x divided by the y. So it would be 1 over square root of 3. And when you rationalize that, that would be square root of 3 over 3. No. Oh, that's because the other one we did was 30. So the cotangent of 60 is the square root of 3 over 3. Yes. Okay, so the rest of the class period today, this is Wednesday, May 4th, 2016, we filled in the chart. I'm trying to find that on here. We filled in the chart that had all the different ratios, this chart. So this is on one of the notes that are posted on the wiki also. You just fill in the quadrant for each angle. So for instance, pi over 3 is in the first quadrant, the degrees, the sine. So the sine was going to be square root of 3 over 2, and the cosine is 1/2. The tangent is going to be square root of 3, because that's y over x. Y divided by x. This is y, this is x. Okay, this is the reciprocal of sine, reciprocal of cosine, and this is x divided by y. Okay, so now I take the reciprocal of the sine, and we just figured it out, and it became 2 square root of 3 over 3. And the reciprocal of cosine would be 2 over 1, or just 2. And then we figured this one was square root of 3 over 3 when we did that one. Don't forget when you do angles like the key angles like pi, that that one, it's -1, 0. So my sine is 0, my cosine is -1, my tangent is 0. Now, when you do your reciprocal of 0, that would be the same as doing 1 over 0, and that's undefined. And then the reciprocal of -1 would be 1 over -1. That equals -1. Cotangent, which is x divided by y, would be -1 divided by 0, and that's also undefined. So doing the key angles, you're going to end up with some undefineds. And some of the other ones, you could end up with some undefineds for these. So that's all you need to know for what we did today. All right.